Greetings again. Welcome to the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce and Entrepreneurs channel. Good to see y'all again. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. You know, I'm here to drop positive messages to you all and help those who are on the entrepreneur journey to basically see their potential to go to the next level. In spite of what you have been through or what people say you can't do, you can actually do it because I did it. You know, I will be coming out with some material for you to purchase on the website and all that kind of stuff. But I had a thought, so again, a lot of this content, I have a lot of content, and I have been basically just narrowing it down, just doing outlines and stuff like that to basically deliver the messages, you know, as the Spirit leads me to deliver. And again, I'm not religious at all. Religion is in a book. Spirituality is free, that type of thing. So not anything against anyone's belief system. That'll be another subject for another day. But, you know, I'm dropping this one on you today to let you know that to those who may can identify to this, or to identify with this, that is, I'm not supposed to be here. Really. The title of this video, honestly, is going to be, and this may sound strange, but look, how a shoelace saved my life. This is like last year. How a shoelace saved my life. I know y'all be like, a shoelace? Come on. Yeah. When we finish up, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, how a shoelace saved my life. So to those of you who have had close calls with death, things like that, you can identify with this because a lot of people have a lot of different stories, you know, on why they shouldn't be here. So that's why I say count your blessings, because you never know when your last day is here, right? But I just want to take a minute to share this with you. How a shoelace actually saved my life. So let's start the story off by saying this. Where do we start from? I moved differently, very differently. And basically what had happened in my condo, well, the complex, basically, yeah, it's interesting what I'm about to drop. That's why I gotta gather my thoughts on this one, because it's for real. So there was a lady that moved next door, right across the hallway. And she actually was blind, you know. And matter of fact, I seen her the other day, and she's still, you know, she's blind. I didn't speak to her or whatever, but however, she moved right across the hallway, you know. And what happened was, everybody know that she's into different things or whatever, which that's her life. And so that was it. So when she moved in, you know, there was a lot of traffic, unwarranted traffic, things like that, you know, in and out, up and down the steps, just all times of night. So you kind of know what's going on, you know. So I start putting cameras up and things, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty secure person, visual, everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm well prepared, you know, in more than one way. And so she moved across the hallway, all this traffic coming in and out. And it was just like over the top, you know what I'm saying? And usually, so basically when I wash clothes, a lot of times I like the laundromat. I just kind of grew up in that era. So sometimes I'll go to the laundromat, you know, and I just kind of like that environment. That was just, you know, me. And so with that being said, I had some dirty clothes just in the closet, right? You know, I just kind of threw them in the trash pile, well, in the dirty clothes pile next to the door in the bedroom. And I let them sit there. And usually I don't let stuff pile up in my life. And to you all who struggle with procrastination, get stuff out of your life. Don't let anything sit around. Just take care of what you can take care of today, you know, that type of thing. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today, basically. But let me share this with you. So my clothes were sitting in the bedroom for about a week, you know, just in the bedroom. And I knew I had to wash them, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'll get to them. And usually when I wash clothes, it could be at any time. Typically, a lot of times I may go 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just because I'm kind of nocturnal. So basically, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I may be washing, may or may not type of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna get to the clothes. I'll get to them. You know what I'm saying? And so, but this particular night, and usually what my pattern is, a lot of times if I wash clothes, I come back and I hang them over the door, dry some of them, hang them over the door, and basically let them air dry. And like I said, when I get back, hang them up, and I lay down and go to sleep. And that's it. That might be like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning by the time I lay down. And so this is very interesting. Check this out. So I knew I was going to get to my clothes. I knew that. But this particular night, the Spirit told me to wash my clothes. The Spirit was like, wash your clothes tonight, spiritually speaking. And I was like, and I've learned, that's the next thing. Y'all need to learn to pay attention to your spirit, straight up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't pay attention to these things. But a lot of times the ancestors and the Spirit will speak to you, and let you know what your next moves are. So don't ever count that out. And so this particular evening, like 8, 9 o'clock, it was kind of late, and the Spirit was like, wash the clothes tonight. And I learned to listen. I said, okay, I'm going to wash the clothes tonight. So around 1:30, 1:45 in the morning, I go to the laundromat. And I usually wash like one pair of sneakers, you know what I'm saying? But this time I needed 2 pair to wash, that I needed to be washed. So I basically took my shoes, and 2 pair of shoes equals 4 shoelaces, right? So I took the shoelaces out the shoes, and I basically put the shoes in the washer and everything. And when, again, when the clothes finish, I basically was like, you know what, okay, because one thing I do, I count the shoelaces, because I like original shoelaces to come with shoes. I don't like to have to order them online, shoelaces that is, online for an original pair of shoes. I think that's just not what I wanted to do. And so with that being said, so when I washed the clothes, pulled all the clothes out, and I had 4 shoelaces. I counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically from that point, I put it in the dryer. I took the shoes out, put the shoelaces in the dryer along with the clothes, right? I'm going somewhere with this. Check this out. That's what I'm saying. The Most High got you here for a reason, especially if you listen to me on this channel, because there's a lot of things I'm going to share with you for real that you should pay attention to your signs and, the spirit realm speaking to you. And I counted 4 shoelaces. I put them in the dryer. And it's probably about pushing 2 o'clock in the morning then. And so when the clothes finished drying, I counted, I had 3 shoelaces. And I'm like, I know I had 4. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and I knew I put them in the dryer. Man, I looked for them shoelaces for 10 minutes. I could not find them whatsoever, right? Didn't even know. I'm like, man, I know I counted 4 shoelaces. But just in case, maybe I didn't count it, maybe it's still in the wash. I just kind of say, okay, maybe I'm just missing out. Maybe it's late, whatever. Looked all in the laundromat and could not find the shoelace at all. I had 3 shoelaces. I said, man, I gotta order another pair of shoelaces for these shoes. So I was like, okay, maybe I left it at home. I know I'm not crazy. That's what I'm not. Far from it. Well, crazy to some, I have a crazy faith, that is, because I believe in the unseen, etc. Because that's, what you got to remember is that we're part human, part spirit. We're not just all human. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, just maybe the shoelace is at home, maybe dropped on the ground, something like that, right? So I get back home, I take my flashlight, I'm looking all in the parking lot, no shoelace. I'm like, where is this shoelace? So I hang the clothes up and everything, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just order from Amazon. I probably find some shoelaces similar, get it from Amazon. So I hung the clothes up, right? And the spirit was like, before I lay down, said, go get your shoelace at the laundromat. Period. I am not joking. I am not exaggerating. And I was like, look, I know I just looked for these shoelaces and they're not there. But Spirit, you told me to go get the shoelace. So I'm going to go. Check this out, right? So I go back to the laundromat, probably about 5 miles away, you know what I'm saying? 4 miles away. And the attendant was there because they had 24 hours. He's like, man, you still looking for that shoelace? I said, yeah, man. The Spirit told me to come get my shoelace. It's in here. For real. He said, okay, well, let me just look. He looked and looked and looked. He said, well, let me just look in the back of the dryer. He took his key out, and guess what? A size 13 shoelace somehow, some way, got sucked into the little hole, the little baby hole in the dryer. Now imagine a size 13 shoelace, the whole shoelace. The dryer didn't have no holes in it, no cracks in it. It got the whole shoelace worked all the way through the dryer to the back side of the dryer. He opened it up. Here's your shoelace. Right. I was like, oh, I knew the shoelace was here. The Spirit told me it was here. He was like, good call. So by the time I got home, it was probably after 3 a.m. And keep in mind, I was building business with this going on too. That's another thing. And so when I get home, right? Now keep in mind, homegirl across the hall was dealing with all type of dealers and all these people coming in and out and all this kind of stuff, right? It was just over the top. I had cameras up and everything. But I just knew at this point, I had went to management too, and I was like, yo, pay quite a bit of money to stay here. I don't need no extra traffic here, this, that, and the other. Plus, I don't know what they may do, whatever. But they kept on putting it off. Okay, cool. How Shoelace saved my life, right? Soon as I get back, right, about 3:15, 3:30. So I parked the vehicle. I opened the glass door to the condo, right? And as I opened the door, I looked up the steps. I was on the top floor, right? Somebody had took gasoline mixed with Clorox and doused her door seal, right? Set it on fire and set the bottle on the carpet. Douse it down the carpet, you know what I'm saying? And set the bottle, the gasoline with Clorox bleach bottle right there. So that means when I opened the door, I seen this flame, right? Around her door seal. And I seen the bottle. I didn't know it was gas until I found out that the fire marshal and them came. And I back, yeah. So when I opened the door, I seen the flame. And the flame, basically, when I opened the door, the oxygen hit the flame and it created a backdraft. And all of a sudden, the fire and the smoke came rushing down the steps. Woof. I mean, for real, right? At that moment, I had like a split second to make a decision. I would tell you, like, I've been through a lot of things in life, but that right there was a test for me as a male, as a man, where you have to react instinctively, fight or flight. Some people run into the fire, some people retreat from the fire. Some people like, oh my God, there's a fire. Yeah, imagine that one. Okay, because a lot of people have been trained to be reactionary, which never gets things done. But that was one time in my life I was like really faced with a decision. I ain't had but a split second. Keep in mind, when I opened the door, the flames came down the steps along with the smoke. And immediately, I ran up the steps. And luckily, and I tell y'all too, if y'all living in condos or apartments, get y'all an ABC fire extinguisher, for real. Get your ABC fire extinguisher, because it saved my life. I luckily had an ABC fire extinguisher underneath the cabinet, the kitchen cabinet. And I'm gonna tell you something, yo. I grabbed that fire extinguisher, and keep in mind, I ran through the smoke. I took in smoke in my lungs. I could not breathe. When you see that on TV, like people coughing, I can't put it in words. When you're breathing in carpet, all that fumes that come from fire, especially paint on the walls and all that stuff, yo. I inhaled like quite a bit. But thank goodness, yo, I swim laps, right? I'm a swimmer. I've been swimming since I was a baby. For real, right? My dad used to take me out to the middle of the lake, so I've always swam. I got a story on that one too, because one time I was swimming and I went off the diving board and touched the bottom of a lake, for real. But I'll tell you that in a second here, or whatever. But anyway, we'll get to that. And so when I grabbed, now keep in mind, when I opened my door to my condo, basically, or where I was staying, the flame was across the hall. When I opened my door, all the smoke, everything rushed into my place. Oh my gosh, smoke everywhere. I grabbed the fire extinguisher. I couldn't breathe. I called 911 too at the same time. I was calling 911, grabbing the fire extinguisher, and I was putting the fire out at the same time. I was backing down the steps, sweeping the fire, banging on her door, and the neighbors downstairs. So I was able to put the fire out before the fire department even got there. Do you know, not only did it save my life, I saved 4 people's lives. I saved her life because she was blind and she couldn't see, and jump out a third story window. At that time, no one, everybody was asleep. You know what I'm saying? They were asleep. So I banged on the door, wake up, fire, fire, fire. Her door, and then the neighbors downstairs, it was 4 people in there, including her little, her homeboy that do whatever he do and bringing all that traffic up in there. He come out twisting his hair. What's going on? Boy, I wanted to sock him in his damn face, straight up. You know what I'm saying? You bringing all this traffic here, causing people to be displaced because you want to be in the streets doing what you do. You know, I don't knock nobody, man. Hell, I've been in the streets. But this dude, yeah, for real. Like, if it weren't for all that, we wouldn't even, anyway, another story. I saved 4 people's lives that night, that morning. That was my heroic moment, yo. And it also taught me what I was made out of. It showed me what I was really made out of, right? And just think about something. Why I say a shoelace saved my life. Because my typical pattern was to wash clothes, hang them over the door, the ones that are dry, I put them up, and I lay right back down. If I wouldn't have listened to the spirit that morning, that means I would have been in that apartment. I would have been in there. That means by the time all that stuff caught ablaze with the gas can and the carpeted steps, her door, and by the time I realized and opened my door, which means the fire would have came in and consumed everything. I'm not supposed to be here. Think about that, yo. I listened to my spirit, and that shoelace saved my life. That's a true story. What's very sad is that the management team, this happened like on a Saturday. Do you know the management didn't contact me till Monday morning? Everybody running crazy. Oh, we had a fire. I tried to call them, let them know. I put the fire out. I didn't even get a thank you. I didn't even get a freaking thank you. I saved the whole building and lives in it. Nobody even know that either. You know, that was sad. And you know what? I moved while building the business. And I actually slept in my vehicle several days. And, while I was, keep in mind, all my stuff was burnt, my leather couch, all it, covered with fire extinguisher dust. All this kind of stuff, right? And that's my story for the day. A shoelace really saved my life. And not just my life. I saved 4 people's lives. Nobody even said thank you. He come out twisting his hair, lost. She couldn't see. The military people and his girl, they didn't know what was going on. And that's my story. I was going to take it to the news, but I said, you know what? It's all good. But I'm telling the story now, how a shoelace saved my life. And I think the takeaway for this story is to pay attention to your spirit, because it will speak to you. and let you know when danger happens or when it's about to approach. You need to know that. And that's what happened with me. And it was very sad that management didn't even, like, I'm not asking for a plaque, but you could have did something, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, oh, next day work, business as usual. I got pictures and all, man, but I ain't even mess with it though. But it was very, very sad. So also watch your surroundings. That's the next thing. You know, a lot of people in this day and time got a lot going on. Sure, a lot of people got stuff going on, but this ain't the time to be playing around, because a lot of people leaving here. And had I not listened to my spirit and not went back to get that shoelace, that means I would have been trapped inside and probably would have jumped out of a window with my belongings, and everybody or most people in that complex would, I'm convinced, would have been burned, because neighbors didn't even know. By the time the fires them showed up, everybody was asleep. And when they heard the story, they was like, "You did this? Thank you, thank you." I mean, the neighbors or whatever, but they really won't know genuine thank you. But yeah, for real. So pay attention to your spirit, and here we go again. That's one of the things in my entrepreneurial portfolio. How a shoelace saved my life. I'm very thankful to the Most High for at least giving me that download to even listen to Wash Your Clothes Tonight. And I heard it, like, okay, I'll go. So yeah, but don't y'all forget, you know what I'm saying, you're part human, part spirit. And when your spirit speaks to you, you need to learn to listen. Don't second guess it, yo. Go with that first instinct, because 9 times out of 10, your ancestors or your angelical, your angel guides, things like that will speak to you. And that's my story, and I'm telling it straight up. And a shoelace did save my life, but not only my life, but like 4 people's lives. It saved 5 lives, 1 shoelace. I'm not expecting to be acknowledged, because the Most High gave me what I need, and I'm straight. But for y'all that's listening to this message, pay attention to your spirit, for real, because it could be life or death, like it could have been for me. So like and subscribe to my channel, yo, and pay attention to your spirit, yo. And I'll get into the products and the kick sauce, and I make hot sauce and everything, but I ain't ready to drop all that yet, but I'm sure you can Google it. But I do consultations as well, but we'll talk about all that later, you know, on the next one or whatever. But oh, real quick, I was telling you about the high diving story, right? So check this out. I went to a lake, right? And they had a high dive way out there in the middle of the lake. They had snakes out there too, but I've never scared. I don't know, when you're younger, you don't really pay attention to that, right? So I was telling y'all about me being a swimmer. Check this story out. So I swam like out to the middle of this lake in the country, and they had a high dive. Like, as little, we used to all be scared to go out there because it was so far out there. But I'm a pretty strong swimmer, so I swam and got out there, right? Check this out. So I basically hit the high dive and went up in the air, right? And came down. Boom. When I hit the water, I pierced the water. Like, when I hit the water, I came down when diving. I knew I had pierced the water. I like literally pierced it. It just parted. Man, look, I started coasting to the bottom. I mean, hands in front of me. And I know, and that's for y'all swimmers, when you going that deep, keep your hands in front of you. I knew to have my hands in front of me, because some people have died because their head hit a rock. You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, my hands, and I was coasting. I couldn't stop. I was moving, yo. And I had my hands in front of me. And so, all of a sudden, the water turned ice cold, like chill, like freezing. I'm like, woof. And I opened my eyes. It was pitch black dark. And all of a sudden, I mean, I was coasting. It had to be 30, 35 feet, maybe 40 feet deep. I mean, I was moving too fast to stop. I could have stopped, but I was like, man, I don't know, snakes in there and all that. I had all these thoughts going on. And for real. And so all of a sudden, my hands hit the mud at the bottom of the lake. The mud came all the way up to like almost my elbows. For real. I looked, it was dark. I said, ugh, all this mud. And then I knew I couldn't spring off the bottom because I would have got stuck. So I just, turned my body around and just started paddling up to the top. And that was my high diving story. I literally touched the bottom of a lake. And I can swim too, for real. I like to swim laps and all that kind of stuff. And but that's my high diving experience, when I went off the diving board at a lake. And I'm telling you, that was like a real eerie feeling, yo. So yeah, that's my swimming story that I'm gonna add to it. But yeah, man. But those of y'all who know me, y'all know I'm 100. And the ones who don't like me or whoever, I don't worry about the haters, whatever. It's really because y'all need to level up. Like I've always said, yo, stop being busy of worrying about other people and what does the commercial say? Get a life. A little kid or something on the commercial, but get a life, yo. Everybody got a life. And if you don't get yourself together and do what you need to do, then you ain't gotta be worried about other people. So but yeah, that's my story. And that's how a shoelace saved my life, as well as 4 other lives. You know what I'm saying? So like and subscribe. I'm gonna come out with some more content. And I got some really good subjects too as well. And then we'll get into the market ready guys and teach y'all how to develop recipes and how to come up out of homelessness. I've been through all of that, every level. And we talked about that on the last video. So I'm gonna say peace out and enjoy your day. You know, get some sunshine. And again, that's how a shoelace saved my life. I'm out. Later.